this video we shall see the applications of change of basis matrix. Let P be the change of basis matrix from a basis B to B1. Then for any vector V in V, this theorem says that matrix of V with respect to B1, when we multiply this matrix by P, then we get matrix of B, then we get matrix of V with respect to B. That means if we pre-multiply new matrix of V with respect to new basis with P, then we get the matrix of V with respect to old basis. And if we multiply matrix of V with respect to old basis by P inverse pre-multiply, then we get the matrix of V with respect to new basis. So let B equal to V1, V2, Vn old basis, and this B1 is new basis. For I equal to 1 to n, let Wi be equal to summation alpha ij Vj. Then P will be alpha ij transpose. So that means this matrix. Notice that jth row of P, jth row will be somewhere here. Notice that in the first row we have 1, 2, n and second subscript is 1. So in jth row second subscript will be j. So jth row of P is alpha 1j, alpha 2j, alpha nj. Let V be equal to k1 w1, k2 w2, kn wn. This is ki wi. So matrix of V with respect to new basis is k1, k2, kn. Now V is summation ki wi. So put the value of wi here, that is alpha ij vj. We can write this summation this way. So this is equal to j varies from 1 to n, then this combination with ki's and then vj. So we have written V as a combination of V1, V2, Vn with respect to old basis. So matrix of V with respect to old basis, first entry is this and so on, last entry, nth entry is this one, and this is nothing but you can see that this is product of two matrices, one with alpha ij and another one with ki. Alpha ij matrix is P and ki matrix is V with respect to B1. So VB is equal to PVB1, and from this we can get that P inverse VB is equal to VB1. So this proves this theorem. Second result is that if P is the change of basis matrix from a basis P to B1, then for any linear transformation T, matrix of T with respect to new basis B1 is equal to P inverse TBP. That is, if G is with respect to old basis and H is with respect to new basis, then H is given by P inverse GP. By the theorem we have just proved PVB1 is equal to VB, where V is any vector in V. So this implies P inverse TBP VB1. We are multiplying PVB1 by this P inverse TB on both sides. So VB is also multiplied by P inverse TB into VB. But we know that TB VB we can write down as T of VB. But again by theorem 6.6, P inverse TVB is equal to TVB1. But TVB1 we can again write down as TB1 VB1. So P inverse TBP times VB1 is equal to TB1 times VB1. and this is true for all VB1 in Fn. See, we are taking V, any V from vector space V, and because vector space V is isomorphic to Fn, and we will get here VB1 for all Fn, for all elements in Fn, and so this matrix, when applied on any arbitrary element of Fn, and when we apply this matrix on any arbitrary element of Fn, both are equal. So these two matrices must be equal. So this gives us that P inverse TBP is equal to TB1. This proves this second theorem 6.7. Now consider this example. This example will clear how this change of basis matrix helps us to find matrix of a linear transformation with respect to an arbitrary basis. Consider VR3 vector space, 3-dimensional vector space. Take E as standard basis and B this basis 1 0 1 2 1 2 1 2 2. Let P denote the change of basis matrix from E to B. To find P, we have to write B in terms of E. So take the first vector of B 1 0 1. Write this in combination of E1 E2 E3, that will be again 1 0 1. 2 1 2 will be 2 1 2, 1 2 2 will be 1 2 2. So P is this matrix 1 0 1 2 1 2 1 2 2. Now let Q denote the change of basis matrix from B to E, then Q will be P inverse, and if you calculate P inverse you will get this one. Now consider this matrix A, this one. We can consider this matrix as a linear transformation from R cube to R cube. We know that matrix of A as a linear transformation with respect to standard basis is A itself. So matrix of A with respect to basis B will be equal to P inverse AEP, but AE is A again, so it is P inverse AP. So if we want to find out matrix of any matrix A as a linear transformation with respect to any basis, then we can immediately find out by finding this matrix P. So once we have found matrix P, then we can find out the matrix of A for any basis. This is how this change of basis matrix helps us to find matrix of any linear transformation.